And that is something the Stoics cherished deeply. Not perfection, not performance, but the quiet, steady alignment with who you truly are. So, after walking through these 10 Stoic reasons to love your parents, I want you to pause with me for just a moment. Take a breath. Let the weight of everything we've explored settle gently in your chest. Because maybe, right now, something inside you feels different. A little softer, a little clearer, a little more awake to the truth that was always there, but often forgotten. The truth that your parents, imperfect, human, flawed, loving in their own chaotic ways, are part of the foundation of who you are. They shaped your first moments, your earliest beliefs, your emotional vocabulary, your resilience, your wounds, your strengths, and your ability to love. Stoicism doesn't ask us to idolize our parents. It doesn't ask us to erase the past or pretend everything was perfect. It simply asks us to see them as human beings doing the best they could with the tools they had, to see them as finite, fragile, temporary, and to let that awareness deepen our gratitude instead of hardening our hearts. You may love your parents fiercely. You may love them quietly. You may love them from a distance. You may love them with boundaries. You may love them while still healing from the past. But love, real love, is not about perfection. It is about intention. It is the decision to show up, the decision to understand, the decision to forgive, to cherish, to appreciate while there is still time. And that's the part we often forget. There is still time, but not unlimited time. Your parents are aging in ways you may not notice until suddenly you do. The slower steps, the softer voice, the deeper lines around their eyes. The small signs that remind you life is moving, gently but relentlessly, forward. And perhaps the most stoic thing you can do today is simply to love them while they are still here to receive it. Maybe that means calling them tonight. Maybe it means saying, "I love you," even if those words feel unfamiliar on your tongue. Maybe it means listening a little longer, with a little more presence. Maybe it means letting go of an old resentment that no longer serves you. Maybe it means offering kindness instead of impatience, or forgiveness instead of silence. Whatever it looks like for you, choose love, even in small moments, especially in small moments, because those small moments become the memories you will one day hold on to when the world feels quieter. Before we end, I want to tell you something a client once told me after her mother passed away. She said, "I wish I had known how sacred ordinary moments were. I would have paid more attention." And that stays with me every time I speak about parents, love, and Stoic awareness. It reminds me that the ordinary is not ordinary at all. It is precious, fleeting, irreplaceable. So if this video touched something inside you, if it helped you remember something you had forgotten, or feel something you had buried, or understand something you had never seen clearly before, then I want to invite you to stay connected. This channel, Stoic Awakening More, exists to help you navigate life not just with strength, but with wisdom, compassion, clarity, and heart. So before you go, I'd love for you to tap the like button if this message resonated. It helps more people just like you, find the wisdom they didn't know they needed. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new video. Every week we dive deeper into Stoicism for modern life. From emotional resilience to self-love, from relationships to purpose, from healing to inner peace. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me one insight that stayed with you. Tell me what you want to heal or strengthen or rebuild with your parents. Tell me which part of today's message opened your heart the most. Your words may be the light someone else needs to read today. Thank you for being here, thank you for listening, and thank you truly for choosing to grow. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay grounded, stay compassionate, and stay awake to the love that's still available to you. This is Stoic Awakening More. Take care, or dare, and call your parents. 8. Because loving your parents helps you understand yourself more clearly. Here's a truth most people don't realize until later in life. Your relationship with your parents is a mirror. It reflects your wounds, your strengths, your insecurities, your values, your triggers, your fears, your longing, your resilience. There was a woman I coached who always felt not enough. No matter what she achieved, the feeling chased her. As we talked, she realized she had spent her entire childhood trying to earn her father's approval that never came in the way she needed. And when she finally understood this, she said something remarkable. I don't want to spend the rest of my life trying to win a game that started in my childhood. That moment changed her, not because she blamed her father, but because she understood. And here is the Stoic insight: understanding gives you choice. Understanding gives you freedom. Understanding allows you to stop repeating unconscious patterns, and start living with intention. Loving your parents then becomes a path to self-knowledge. It teaches you who you are. It teaches you what you value. It teaches you how you want to show up in the world. And sometimes the deepest act of love is simply saying, I finally see you. And because I see you, I also see myself more clearly. 9. Because you have the power to create a different ending to your family story. One of the most liberating insights in Stoic philosophy is this: you cannot change your past, but you can change the meaning of your past. You can choose how the story continues. If your parents were loving and supportive, then continuing that legacy is a beautiful act of gratitude. If your parents were imperfect, wounded, absent, or difficult, then choosing to love them in your own way, or choosing to break a cycle, or choosing to heal instead of repeat, is a powerful act of Stoic agency. I once worked with a man who told me, my dad was never kind, so I will be the first kind father in my family line. He didn't excuse his father's behavior, he didn't deny the pain, but he took ownership of the story from this point forward. He became the turning point, and that's something you can choose too. The past might explain you, but it does not have to define you. Loving your parents, whatever form that love takes, can become the moment where the family line heals, grows and evolves. You can be the chapter that changes everything. That is a reason worthy of immense love. 10. Because loving your parents aligns you with your true human nature. The Stoics believe that to live well, you must live in accordance with nature, your true nature. And human nature is simple. We are wired for connection. We are wired for love. We are wired for compassion, gratitude, and belonging. When you love your parents, not out of obligation, not blindly, not perfectly, but consciously and honestly, you return to your most natural, most human, most grounded self. A man I met once said, I feel most like myself when I love the people who matter. He was right. Loving your parents connects you to your roots. It grounds you in humility. It reminds you that you are part of something bigger than your individual ambitions. It reconnects you with the core of what it means to be human. Even if your relationship is complicated, even if boundaries are needed, even if your love must be expressed gently or from a distance, the act of honoring them honors your humanity. Have you ever had one of those moments when you suddenly stop and realize, I haven't truly appreciated my parents in a very long time? Maybe it hits you while scrolling through old photos. Maybe it comes after a long day when you finally understand the sacrifices they made. Or maybe it comes quietly, like a small tug in your chest, when you notice your parents getting older, a little slower, a little more fragile than you remember. As a Stoic practitioner and someone who has spent many years working with people navigating the complexities of modern life, I've learned something profound. Most people don't stop loving their parents. They just forget to love them actively. Life moves fast, schedules get packed, pressure builds, and for many of us living in busy cities far from home, the relationship with our parents becomes something in the background, familiar, always there, but not always nurtured. A client of mine in Boston once told me, I don't mean to neglect my mum, it's just life. But when she said that, I could see the guilt behind her words. Not because she didn't care, but because deep down she knew she had taken her mother's presence for granted. And honestly, we all do that at some point, don't we? We assume they'll always be there. We assume there's more time. We assume we'll call tomorrow, visit next month, show appreciation someday. But Stoicism reminds us of something both beautiful and heartbreaking. Nothing is guaranteed, not even the people we love the most. There's a Stoic practice called memento mori, remembering the finiteness of life. It isn't meant to be dark, it's meant to wake us up. Because when we remember that time is limited, love becomes urgent, real, alive. I had a conversation with an older father in New York, a man in his 70s who raised 4 children. He told me, "My kids love me, I know that, but sometimes I wish they remembered I won't be here forever." He wasn't asking for much, not a vacation, not expensive gifts, just time. A call, a moment, a simple, "Dad, how are you feeling today?" And I think that's why this video matters. Because loving our parents isn't about grand gestures, it's about remembering the quiet truth that they gave us the beginning of everything. Our life, our resilience, our stories, our values, the way we love, the way we hurt, the way we heal. Your parents, whether perfect, flawed, present or distant, shaped you in ways you may not fully understand yet. Marcus Aurelius wrote about honoring the source of one's existence. Epictetus spoke about gratitude for what we did not choose but were fortunate to receive. Seneca taught that virtue begins with how we treat the people closest to us. And in the modern world where independence is celebrated so loudly, it's easy to forget that strength isn't the absence of connection. It's the courage to value the people who shaped us. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine hearing your parents' voices. Maybe over the phone, maybe from memory. Imagine the meals they cooked, the worries they carried for you, the nights they stayed up, the things they gave up quietly so you could have a better chance at life. Even if they weren't perfect, and most aren't, they gave you the one thing no one else could ever give, the opportunity to live, to choose, to grow, to change, to become. A friend of mine from Chicago once said, "I didn't realize my father was aging until the day I saw him reaching for the railing to climb the stairs." And she cried, not out of sadness, but out of love that had been asleep for too long. You see, modern life teaches us to chase success, self-improvement, ambition, goals. Stoicism teaches us to return to what truly matters, relationships, gratitude, and the awareness that life is both precious and fleeting. And that's why today we're going to talk about 10 Stoic reasons to love your parents, not out of obligation, but out of awareness, compassion, and truth. Not reasons to admire them blindly, not reasons to ignore their imperfections, but reasons to recognize the humanity, the effort, the love, silent or loud, that played a role in making you who you are today. So before we begin, I want to ask you gently, when was the last time you really truly loved your parents, not out of habit, but out of intention? And what might happen if today you did? Let's explore this together. Let's awaken something you may have forgotten. Let's reconnect with the people who gave us life. Because loving your parents through the lens of Stoicism is not just an emotion, it's a practice, a virtue, a way of returning home to yourself. When we talk about loving our parents through the lens of Stoicism, we aren't just talking about a cultural expectation or a moral duty. We're talking about something much deeper. A recognition of truth, of mortality, of gratitude, of virtue, and of the real, imperfect human relationship that shaped our existence. So let's begin with the first 5 Stoic reasons, not as a list of ideas, but as a journey back to our origins. 1. Because your parents are the beginning of your story, and Stoicism honors the source. In Stoic philosophy, the concept of origin is sacred. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about acknowledging the forces and people that shaped his character. He thanked his father for teaching him integrity, his mother for teaching him compassion, his teachers for shaping his mind. He believed that honoring your roots is honoring life itself. And when you think about it, who stands at the very beginning of your story? Your parents. There's something incredibly humbling about recognizing that everything you've ever experienced, every success, every heartbreak, every moment of growth, exists only because two people gave you the chance to live. Maybe they weren't perfect. Maybe your childhood wasn't easy. Maybe your relationship is complicated. But the Stoics remind us that imperfection does not erase gratitude, it deepens it. A client of mine in Los Angeles once told me, "My dad and I never got along, but the older I get, the more I realize he gave me life, and because of that, everything I've accomplished is connected to him." And hearing him say that, I felt something shift inside me. Sometimes love isn't loud. Sometimes love is simply acknowledging the truth. Without them, there would be no you. That alone is a reason worthy of deep, quiet love. 2. Because Stoicism teaches gratitude for what we did not choose. One of the most beautiful ideas in Stoicism is this: you don't get to choose many things in life, but you get to choose how you relate to them. No one chooses their parents, no one chooses the family they're born into, no one chooses the circumstances of their early life. But the Stoics say that this lack of choice is precisely why we must practice gratitude. A woman in her 40s once sat across from me during a session and said, "I wish my mother had been different." I asked her, "Different how?" She listed qualities she wished her mother had: gentler, calmer, more emotionally present. After she finished, I said softly, "What if the gratitude isn't for the mother you wanted, but for the mother who gave you life despite her own limitations?" She cried, not out of sadness, but out of realization. Gratitude isn't about idealizing your parents, it's about acknowledging that despite flaws, despite struggles, despite their own wounds, they still brought you into this world and carried you far enough for you to become who you are today. Stoicism teaches us that gratitude isn't selective, it's honest, it's broad, it's powerful. And sometimes the most powerful gratitude is for the things we never had the power to choose. 3. Because parental love, even when imperfect, is one of life's rarest gifts. The Stoics spoke often about external goods, things we don't fully control but should appreciate while we have them. One of those goods is love, and not romantic love, not social love, but the deep, primal, unconditional kind that parents often give without asking for anything in return. A friend of mine lost his mother unexpectedly when he was 29. He told me something I've never forgotten. "I didn't realize how rare her kind of love was until it was gone. Nobody else in your life loves you like that, nobody." And he was right. Even if your parents expressed love awkwardly, quietly, indirectly, clumsily, it was still love, shaped by the only way they knew how. And if your parents struggle to express love at all, the Stoic truth is this: you still have the opportunity to offer the love you wish you had. Stoicism teaches that love is measured not by what we receive, but by what we choose to give. There is something noble, something deeply human about loving the people who loved you in the best way they could, even when it wasn't perfect. Because in reality, no one's love is perfect. But parental love, imperfect as it is one of the few loves in life that isn't performance-based. It's not earned, it simply is. And that alone makes it worth cherishing. 4. Because your parents gave you your first lessons in virtue through words or through their lives. Stoicism isn't interested in abstract philosophy. It cares about virtue, about character, about the way we act in the world. When you look back, where did your earliest lessons in virtue come from? Your parents. Maybe they taught you kindness, or resilience, or discipline, or responsibility. Maybe they taught you generosity, or hard work, or honesty. Or maybe they taught you through contrast, showing you the kind of person you didn't want to become. Either way, they shaped your foundation. I once worked with a young man whose father had been absent most of his life, but instead of resentment, he said something extraordinary. "My dad taught me how important it is to be present because he wasn't." He didn't deny the pain, he didn't excuse it, but he transformed it into virtue. This is Stoicism in its purest form, turning adversity into wisdom. Your parents, through their strengths and weaknesses, gave you the first blueprint for becoming a human being. They taught you how to navigate the world. They gave you the emotional and psychological tools that shaped your early identity. And whether those tools were perfect or flawed, they were the beginning of your moral development. That is something worth honoring. 5. Because loving your parents helps you practice kindness, empathy, and humanity, Stoicism is often misunderstood as emotionless. But real Stoicism is deeply compassionate. It teaches us to treat others with decency, patience, and humanity, beginning with the people closest to us. Your parents are the first people who test your capacity for forgiveness, understanding, kindness, emotional presence, empathy, humility. One of my clients, a successful entrepreneur, once said, "I can be patient with everyone except my mother." We laughed, but then he paused and realized the truth behind his words. It's easy to be kind to strangers. It's harder with those who trigger old patterns, old wounds, old memories. But the Stoics believe that our closest relationships are the greatest training ground for virtue. If you can love your parents with all their imperfections, with all their contradictions, with all their humanity, you become a more compassionate person. You learn to see others through a softer lens. You learn patience. You learn emotional maturity. You learn that everyone carries struggles you may never fully understand, including the people who raised you. Loving your parents isn't just an act of affection, it's an act of becoming. When we left off, we talked about the virtues, the gratitude, and the quiet humanity that your parents helped shape within you, whether intentionally or indirectly. But there's more, much more. Because loving your parents through the Stoic lens isn't just about where you came from, it's also about who you're choosing to become. Let's continue. 6. Because life is finite, and awareness of that truth makes love urgent. There is a Stoic practice that sits at the heart of everything, memento mori. Remember that life is finite. It sounds heavy, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to wake you up to what truly matters. A few years ago, I worked with a man named Jacob. He was successful, disciplined, respected. But he told me he hadn't talked to his father in months, not because of conflict, but because he never had time. Then one day, his father had a health scare. Suddenly, things Jacob thought were urgent, emails, deadlines, minor frustrations, became meaningless. He told me, "I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that I almost ran out of time to tell my dad I loved him." This is the Stoic truth. Love becomes deeper when we understand its fragility. Your parents are not with you forever. Their bodies age. Their memories fade. Their voices grow softer. Their steps grow slower. And one day, all the moments you think you'll always have, phone calls, conversations, shared meals, inside jokes, will become memories. Stoicism doesn't tell you to fear this, it tells you to feel it. So you can love more fiercely while you still can. It tells you to call today, not next week. To say I love you tonight, not someday. To show up, not because you must, but because you understand time is slipping through both your hands. This awareness transforms love from habit into choice, from background noise into something sacred. And perhaps that is one of the most powerful reasons to love your parents now, because one day you'll wish you had more time. 7. Because your parents were your first emotional teachers. Whether your parents were gentle or strict, calm or chaotic, emotionally open or emotionally distant, they were your first window into the world of feelings. You learned how to love, trust, respond, fear, cope, attach, and even dream through your relationship with them. A client from Chicago once told me, "I didn't realize until therapy that the way I love today is a reflection of how my parents loved me." Your parents shaped your emotional blueprint, sometimes in beautiful ways, sometimes in painful ways, sometimes in ways you're still trying to understand. And here's the Stoic point. Loving your parents doesn't mean ignoring their flaws. It means recognizing how deeply they shaped your emotional world and choosing how to grow from it. The Stoics believe that self-awareness is one of the highest virtues. When you understand your parents, you begin to understand yourself. You begin to heal old patterns. You begin to forgive, not for their sake, but for your own freedom. So when you practice loving your parents, you're also practicing compassion toward the younger version of you who learned how to feel through them. That's not weakness, that's emotional wisdom.